Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your second and final video blog of the night for Saturday, June 4th, 2016, around 7:42 in the evening, Billerica, Massachusetts. This day is winding down. The sun is going down approximately a half hour. Still nice weather out, but it's clouding over. Tomorrow, no sun. And in the afternoon and the evening, heavy-duty rain. The Cape of Massachusetts, Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and the islands could avoid serious rain. A couple of days next week will be in the 70s and 80s, but Wednesday through Saturday, cooler than average, only in the mid-60s. That is 10 degrees below the average of this time of year. We're going actually backwards than frontwards with this weather, but at least no snow. Some news to report. The Boston Red Sox beat the Toronto Blue Jays by a score of 6-4 to end the 3-game losing streak. Also, it's free freshwater fishing weekend in Massachusetts. So you could go to the fresh ponds and lakes to fish for free this weekend, and you don't have to pay a license. But you can't fish in fresh pond in Cambridge because that's a reservoir, and you can't swim in it either because if you get caught, you're gonna go to get arrested and be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And it's Happy National Cheese Day. And that's about it on news. My second and final video blog subject of the night is my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is Pro Basketball Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, shooting guard. Reggie Miller is probably the best player in Indiana Pacers history. He played 18 seasons with the Pacers and holds many team records. Reggie was born and he grew up in Riverside, California. His couple of his siblings were athletes. His sister, Cheryl Miller, was a star basketball player on the UCA women's basketball team, and she's a Pro Basketball Hall of Famer. And his brother, Darryl, was a Major League Baseball catcher for a few years, but he was not a star player. He was basically a backup catcher, spending time with the LA Angels of Anaheim. And Reggie had a little bit of a rough childhood. He had hip deformations at birth, and from like when he walked to middle school, he was wearing braces, but he was determined to walk without braces, and he loved playing basketball. He was a star high school basketball player, and then he played for UCLA, and he was a great shooting guard. He was a third-team All-American in 1986, and he made 2 first All-Pac-10 teams. And he's still the second all-time leading scorer in UCLA history behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His number 31's retired by the UCLA Bruins. And the Indiana Pacers drafted Reggie in the first round of the 1987 NBA draft. He played all 18 seasons with the Pacers, and he became one of the best players in the NBA, and also brought the Pacers to being a contender every single year. Before like Reggie got there, the Pacers were like mediocre at best, making a playoff appearances here and there, but they didn't go very far. 6 times Reggie scored 20 or more points per game during the seasons. 8 times he had 3 or more rebounds per game seasons. 12 times he had 3 or more assists per game per season. And 5 times he played in the NBA All-Star Game, and 3 times he was an All-NBA third-teamer. And he was one of the most accurate three-point shooters of all time. For many years, he had a public feud with Spike Lee, the actor-director. The Pacers and the Knicks had a lot of great playoff series in the 90s and 2000s, and Reggie Miller was like a Knicks killer. He scored kind of 18 points within 6 seconds of the playoff game in 1995. And Reggie Miller continued to play very great during his declining years. He actually made the NBA Finals in 2000, but the Pacers lost in 6 games to the LA Lakers in 2000. And he won a gold medal for the United States in the 1996 Olympic team. Reggie continued to play in the NBA into the 2004-2005 season when he retired. His career stats: 25,279 points, averaging 18.2 points per game during his career, 4,141 assists, 3 assists average per game, and 2,563-point field goals, which was the most in NBA history, but that was broken in 2011 by Ray Allen, then with the Boston Celtics against the Los Angeles Lakers, and Reggie Miller was doing the color for that game on TNT. Reggie started his broadcasting career when he was still an active player. He hosted a talk show on WTHR Channel 13 in Indianapolis for many, many years. Then, when he retired, Reggie Miller became a color man on NBA games on TNT, usually teaming with Kevin Harlan or Marv Albert. Yes! And in 2007, Reggie Miller talked about making a comeback to the NBA. Danny Ainge, the president and general manager of the Boston Celtics, asked Reggie Miller to come back at the age of 42 to be a backup player for the Boston Celtics, but he declined because it would have took him several weeks to get in shape, and he loved doing the games on TNT. In 2011, Reggie Miller started to do color for the NCAA basketball tournament games on the Turner Networks and on CBS. And Reggie Miller was inducted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame in 2012, and he's the most famous player in Pacers history, and he's still doing great work for the NBA on TNT. And that's about it on Reggie Miller. And that's about it on these video blogs for tonight. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Tomorrow, 3 more video blogs coming for you. First video blog is my take on random acts of kindness. Second video blog will be about MBTA bus route 110 that goes from Wellington MBTA Orange Line Station to Wonderland MBTA Station Blue Line. And the third and final video blog of the night will be the personality profile. Tomorrow's personality profile will be about the late great game show host Peter Tamakin, famous for hosting Press Your Luck, Big Bucks, Big Bucks, Big Bucks, Stop! You hit a whammy! I cannot tell a lie! You lose! No personality profile on Monday, because that's the 2-year anniversary of my first video blog. And I'll tell you on the third one about the 2-year and still going strong. And don't forget Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Friday, June 17th. Wednesday, June 22nd. Friday, June 24th, and Wednesday, June 29th. I need subjects for the second video blog of those days. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus, send them to me. And anything you want me to talk about, I will talk about. Except past subjects, because we're not going to rehash them. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Pudding guy. Molly Wilson, love the BCCO accents, nice legs. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning, she's the best. Amy Swimsy rocks. Julie Gal, Fox 25 is so awesome. Michelle Beadle has nice legs. And in the words of Dee Patel last week, no boss,